that high equity deal that we structured with the rent back, with the lease back. That's another version. Let's talk about another line item on how somebody can be little to no out of pocket on a deal.
Great way, man. Subject to is being thrown around.
Those are such beautiful words. And you guys, it's subject to. You gotta say it with beauty.
Right.
It's such a good word. It's such a good combination of words. Subject to. Like, it's perfect. Okay? Subject to. It's such a great way to structure a deal with little to no out of pocket. Go ahead.
So I call a seller, right?
I fucking love it.
I'll call a seller. My market's Ohio. I'll call a seller somewhere in Ohio. And he's a willing seller. He's motivated. Let's just say he's probably 75, something like that. He just wants to be out of the rental game. He's like, Kareem, I want to sell this house. I like you. I trust you. The problem is I have a mortgage on this house, right? So I need, let's just say the mortgage balance is $40K. I need $40K plus what I want on top to walk away. Let's just say he wants $10K. It's like I'm at $50K total. That's my bottom dollar. I'll tell us, I'm like, look, that sounds great. To be honest, I have no problem honestly paying you that $10K, but I'd rather not pay off the bank right now, to be honest. Like, the house needs some work. I'd rather not put that much capital out. Subject to is you as the investor, you still give, let's just say, John that $10K, but you are taking over the existing payments, that existing mortgage that's staying in his name. The reason you would do that, because a lot of times the interest rate, like the numbers have to make sense. The interest rate might be like 3%, 4%. He's paying $350 a month, but he has a tenant occupied property paying $850 a month. So the property's already cash flowing. For me, I just want to come into the deal, pay off the seller, and to get that cash flowing asset without having to put out the $40K to pay off the debt.
So real quick, I just want to interject.
Yeah.
Guys, I think a lot of people conflate the idea of a mortgage with the ownership of a house. Those are two things are not the same. A mortgage note and ownership of a property are not the same thing. Okay? Again, I've heard Pace really, Pace is like one of the subject to gurus,
Absolutely.
right? So I've heard him explain this in such a way that really, we got to give the credit where the credit's due. He explained it the right way. His analogy was when you go to a store and use a credit card, you agree to pay off the item that you both say you buy a sweater with a credit card. You purchased the sweater. You took ownership of the sweater. But what you owe is the money that it costs to buy the sweater.
Yeah, that debt.
Like the debt and the sweater are not the same. So I think you need to visualize the title of a home and the note on that property. Those two things are divested. They're not the same thing. So by understanding that, you've unlocked, you've leveled up. You've unlocked a portion of funding and financing that you would not know. So by understanding that you can buy and sell a property, irrespective of the note, it really unlocks your mind to be able to create and craft these amazing deal structures. Like this game, more than anything, is about deal structure. And if you really understand deal structure, you can do things that a lot of people cannot do. You know what I'm saying? That the average wholesaler, like imagine walking into a deal, an ARV of 80K. This is a deal that we're doing right now. And they owe 40. As a wholesale deal, it's a tight deal.
It's tight.
It's a tight deal as a wholesale
Because
deal.
the bank has to get paid that 40 before anything happens.
Exactly.
If you were to cash out.
Exactly. But the property's cash flowing $700 a month.
Right. The debt's already in place.
The debt's in place, and they have a great term on the debt.
Yep.
They have a great note.